Hi, welcome back. On RealCopStoriesVideos.com, look them up. We have 355 stories. They're all good stuff, vice, narcotics, gangs, whatever. And look them up, they're all my babies. We're now going through a question and answer period. And answer me questions and I'll tell you. So to talk to me, get on this site, rsbcopstories@gmail.com. Ask me any questions you want and I'll answer them, okay? Here's one of the questions, it's continuance. This is part 3 of court cases that really didn't make much sense. Okay, very bizarre one here. There's a big background here. Hopefully I can get it all in. I'm working gangs, and as a side note here, get on a sidetrack. Okay, the city every year hires summer help all over the city. But if you put an application in to see, in this case it was a lifeguard, they put you wherever they need you. You know, if you're living in Pacoima or or Chatsworth, doesn't mean you're going to get a job there. They put you wherever they need you. So some young blonde girl, 19 years old, 18 years old, put an application to be a lifeguard. Okay, she got the job and they sent her to an East LA complex, which is a pool and rec center and all that stuff. Okay, you never know where you're going. You should check to see what you're doing. But she's going to work for the city and she got a job, a summer job. Okay, in fact I think she was underage, 17. Trying to remember. It's been a long time ago. Anyway. So, they have the suits they wear and all that stuff. Okay, it's no big deal. It's not sexy. The one-piece stuff that they used to, they teach kids and during the day and then they have the free swim. But this place was right in smack in the middle of a gang territory. Okay. So one night one afternoon we just cleared to work gangs. We're driving around, my partner and I. And what had happened was somebody saw her, some gang member saw her, and towards the end of the day, which is her work day, 6 of them went in there and they raped her. Okay, really bad. And as they're raping her, they're writing their names on the walls. They're writing their nicknames on the walls. Okay, so we get the call, rape in progress, but by the time the first unit got there, guys were already gone. She'd been raped and already in her office, and it was a mess, okay? So they're interviewing her, and she's covered. We have a lot of women now. We don't have very many women on the police department, so it's all men there to respond to this call. Later on, it softens the call when you have lady officers helping a lady when she's been a victim of something, but not then. So she's surrounded by cops, and they're trying to get this and that. And she's telling us that those names on the wall, they wrote while they were raping her. And we asked her, did you get a look at the guys that did it? Yes, I did. Could you identify him? Yes, I could. Very sharp lady, very sharp girl. Call her a girl, not even a lady yet. Felt sorry for her because she was traumatized, but it wasn't hysterical. She was just, you can see she was shook up. So the patrol sergeant looked at that roll, and he looks at us, and I go, Sarge, give us 10 minutes. We'll have every one of those names. What? So we drove back to the station. This is before the ACLU got in and said we couldn't do this. Well, we can do it now, limited. But in those days, we had cards on every single gang member that we stopped in East LA. Okay, probably 300. So we had them cross-filed under nicknames. Pretty simple. Okay. So we go to the nicknames. Boom, boom, boom. All 6. Perfect. Names they match the card. I mean, there isn't like 7 of this one name. It's, this guy, that guy, that guy. So, okay, so what do? We have their photographs. We put each one photograph with 5 other like-looking Latinos in a folder. The next guy, we had 6 folders of the suspects in there with 5 other similar-looking Latino guys. And by that time, the detectives are coming in. We give them. He goes, "Here's your suspects." They look at us. She's at the station. They walk in. Okay, they showed her each folder. She points to each one of those guys. She got each one of those guys out of that show-up. It's called a 6-pack show-up. She identified him. Got this one. That's him. That's him. That's him. Oh my gosh. Okay. So as they're doing that, we're putting out addresses over the air, and guys are responding to the houses to pick up these creeps. Okay. Got all 6 within 2 hours. They're all in custody. Okay. Beautiful case. This is before DNA. This is back in the 70s. Nowadays it would have got even firmer case with DNA, but then they didn't. Okay. So no problem. We wait 2 weeks for the trial. They delayed it. They wanted more time. Okay, fine. So about a month and a half, so much goes by. Of course, she's been reassigned or relieved or sent home, whatever, in that whole time. So they're going to have a jury trial, okay, which means you're going to pay for this. They say they don't speak English. So you're going to have 6 translators. Who pays for that? Oh, that's right. You do, okay? 6 attorneys, of course, you're going to pay for that. They don't have any money. They're gang members, ranging from 19 to 20, all that age bracket. So we go in there, and they got the jury pool, and everything. Okay, so they're picking the juries. We were not there for the jury selection. We get there pretty much game day. All right, so they start. And they start from the victim. They start the trials with the victim, and that sets the tone. The victim sets the the what happened, tells the thing. They ask her, can you identify the people, and all that. So this is what they did. The district attorney says, what were you doing? I was working. Okay. Then she said 5 people came in. What did they do? Well, they grabbed me. They covered my mouth. They took me in the back room and they took off my clothes. And they were, okay, who did it? And can you point to anybody in this courtroom? They do that. Who did it? And she goes, well, she starts pointing them all out. That one, that one, that one, that one, that one, all that. So, now, did each one of them rape you? Did each one of you have sex with you? Yes, they did. Okay. So she's laying it out. The jury's got like 8, 9 women and 3 guys. They're sitting there. They're taking notes, right? Well, the whole time she's testifying, these schmucks are laughing and giggling and joking. Okay. And I'm looking over the jury because I'm at the table with the district attorney because we're the gang experts. And we're going to testify also how we got these guys. Okay, it's going to be huge. I've been through this before. There's going to be horrendous cross-examination on my gang knowledge and our gang knowledge and our files and all that stuff, which ACLU and these liberals don't want. They don't want anybody to be involved with anything. They want everybody to walk away with kumbaya. They don't want it. No, they think everybody's good. Nobody wants to commit crimes. No, you need to identify these idiots. Okay. So we were expecting a vigorous cross-examination. Okay. So I'm looking over at the women. They're not looking at her. They're looking at them. They're taking notes. These guys are laughing and joking. And I go, oh my gosh, this is not a good thing. Okay, so the DA says, part of the corpus electi of the crime, in other words, you have to have a crime of this type of violence, is force or fear. In her case, it would be both. It'd be fear that they have great bodily injury or death, and then force. They forced her to do the sex. Okay, to have sex for the rape. So the DA asks her, I don't know her name. It says, were you fearful of your life? And she's pretty good. She goes, no. Okay. You can hear a pin drop in there. Okay. I looked at the DA and go, oh my God, we lost the case. We lost the case. And he says, he looks at me and he goes, what's going on? There's like, the jurors all look at each other, and then the DA says, Your Honor, I think this pressure of this testifying, could we have 5 minutes to give her a chance to get a hold of herself? It's just everybody's like, not the jurors necessarily, but the people in the court, the clerk, the court recorder, all the attorneys, the DA, everybody's like, that's not the right answer. You should have said, I was scared they were going to kill me. Okay, no, okay, fine. So he said yes. So we took her into the room. I went in. There was 2 DAs, myself, my partner, and her. We were in there. Close the door, and he says, what's going on? She says, he says, why weren't you fear for your life? And she just looked at him like talking to you on this camera. She goes, sir, I'm a born-again Christian, and I felt that they were going to kill me, and I was actually happy because I was going to die and see the Lord. Whew. I got goosebumps right now thinking about it, okay? And we just sat there, obviously a bunch of non-believers, We're like, the DAs go, what? Yes. And she's just smiling. We go, and DA says, I'm going to put you on the stand. You need to tell exactly what you told me and basically tell the truth. Okay. He goes, yeah, no problem. Whew. So we came out. Everybody sat back in place. They're smiling at her. They're looking at her like this. Look, that's what they did, okay, because they're a-holes. If I was a dad, I would have gone in with an AK-47, blow them all away. But anyway, let's see. If I went in there with a machine gun, I'd be afraid I'd kill their attorneys. Oh, gee, maybe that would be a good thing to do. Oh, anyway, sorry about that. I'm getting off on that side rail. Not a bad one, okay. Anyway. So she comes out, gets on the stand, and he asks her the same question. Were you fearful for your life? She says no. And even the judge is still looking like, what happened? He says, why weren't you afraid of your life? And she said what I told you, that she was a born-again Christian, and she knew they were going to kill her, and she was happy because she was going to see the Lord, her creator or something like that. Close those words to that effect. Okay, you got 12 jurors, 4 alternates, court staff, 4 attorneys, 6 attorneys, 6 translators, an audience of about 30 people, cops everywhere. You couldn't hear a pin drop in there after she said that. It was dead silence. The DA says, thank you, no further questions. She's your witness. He sat down. And I thought she was going to get ripped because these guys love to exploit rape victims like crazy, okay? So they said, can we have a minute? And they're all over there in their little conspiratorial huddle about how can we make shit up, I love attorneys. And I'm thinking, what are they going to do? Or maybe they'll come up with one plan. Maybe they're going to have one guy speak for these guys and rip her or who knows what they're going to do. They come out and the judge says, yes. And he goes, we have no questions for the victim. What? To this day, I look at the DA looks at me. We look at each other. It's like one of those soap opera cameras, you know. Camera one, camera two, camera one. Like, what's going on? No questions. Because I've been in a lot of rape trials, man, and they go in, they just rip these women, man. They make them cry on the stand. They make them look like they're prostitutes. I mean, horrible. These attorneys do this. Over the years, though, the Supreme Court, thank goodness, has softened has hardened the fact they don't want attorneys doing that. Okay, you traumatize the victims. Okay, so we sat there and no further questions. Well, okay, so I thought, okay, well, I guess we're going to be next. You know, get up there and testify about our involvement, how we got these individuals, even though she already pointed them out. They just have to make sure we did it legally, which we did. Okay. He said, Your Honor, we'd like to have a recess. We'd like to discuss the case with the district attorney. And just, okay, granted, jurors, you know, you want to infer or whatever what happened here right now, just go out and we'll take your recess, take a 15-minute break. We'll call you back. And everybody just sat there like good little people. All the jury piles out. Doors close. They go into a room with all their clients. DA goes, I don't know what's going on here. I said, what? We're still in shock. Okay, the victim's over here saying now she's with her mom, and I think it was another lady. It might have been her sister. I don't remember. They're over there taking care of her. She was fine. She was fine. God bless her. You know. So then, 20 minutes they were in there. They came out and said, Your Honor, we'd like to talk about a plea bargain. We come with an agreement. The district attorney, the district attorney went over there with them after a while. Came out. They made an agreement. They all pled guilty. 20 years to life. Probably in California they'll serve about 16 maybe. A couple of them were ex-cons, but no violence, just like car theft and stuff. So they had, but that's a win for the DA. He didn't have to put her under any more pressure. Doesn't have to possibly lose the case because they don't like the fact that we arrested these guys. I mean, all kinds of stuff can happen here to throw the case out. All you need is one juror to say, gee, I think they're innocent, and then you lose the case. So DAs like that. They like to win these things. That was it. The jurors were not called back in. They had a hearing right there. The judge asked each one of them. They knew what was happening to them. They said yes. They all agreed. They signed the forms. And they were taken away in chains, and we were done. And we just sat there, and DA says, I've never seen this before in my life. I said, neither have I. I said, this is a first. This is a first. So my attorney friend, been practicing attorney for 40-some years, he said, I don't know how I could cross-examine. I said, I know. What do you ask her? What are you going to tell her? I don't believe you're a Christian? Oh, good luck with that, okay? Good luck with that little theme. You're a whore? Good luck with that. Okay, that ain't going to work, okay? So one of the most bizarre ones court case I ever went on. And thank goodness it came out to good. It was a very interesting case. That lady is so brave right now. She's got to be in her 60s now probably or whatever. But anyway, hope you enjoyed that story, and we'll see you next time. Okay, bye-bye.